Hello and welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today I'm going to be looking at proper IP camera. Now I recently bought some very cheap IP cameras from AliExpress and another one of those sites, and they were both the same cameras. I bought two of them and they both had the same flaw, which was you had to sign up to their cloud storage to be able to use any basic functionalities of the camera. It's basically a con, and I wasn't very happy, and my wife was like, well, you know, that's unacceptable, yada yada yada. She said other things, I just wasn't listening. And so I thought, well, let's just get some proper IP cameras. Now these do have a cloud storage system that you can sign up to if you like. However, you don't have to. You can connect these to your computer, to an FTP server, to a DVR. You can set these up to many things, and I'll be connecting it up through my phone as well. And all these things then allow you to record and do all the other bits and bobs. I love having that little bit of security. Even though we live in a very safe area, it's one of those things I just like. It's it could be a slight paranoia, I don't know. Did you hear that? Anyway, so yeah, I wanted IP cameras for a long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test them out, set them up, and use them. Now, as with everything, I'm 100% transparent whether I've got them for free or I've bought them. And in either case, I will always tell you the truth. There's no point me losing subscribers over an object, you know what I mean? And again, I bought these with my own money. Luckily enough, a friend of mine had a voucher and it ended up costing me about £30. I bought two of them. It cost me about, it was less than that. It cost me about £20 for two of these, whereas normally they would be £40 each. So he was like, yeah, just have it, don't matter, you know. And that's what I love about my friends. So generous, so nice. So thank you. You know who you are, but I know you wouldn't have wanted to be named. And while we're on thanking, thank you so much to Joseph and David, my Patreons. You guys are absolutely awesome and I appreciate you so much. I appreciate everything you've done. And I just, the channel would not be where it is now if you guys hadn't have helped. And thank you to you for watching, because again, without people watching it, I wouldn't be here now. If you could like, comment and subscribe as well, that'd be awesome. And if you do have the funds to be able to become a Patreon, then all the links are in the description, but please don't feel like you have to. Just watching and all the other interactions that you can do is what I need from you guys. Anyway, let's get on. Okay, so this is the IE20. It's also called the IE Geek, I believe. Let's have a look at the blurb. Okay, you got PTZ control, or PTZ, which means pan, tilt and zoom. It's IP66 waterproof. That's ingress protection 6.6. That's not too bad. I just wouldn't dunk it in a bucket of water, put it that way. Two-way audio, as in you can hear what's going on outside, and what's you can actually talk to it as well. It's got motion detection, auto tracking, LED white and infrareds, meaning you can have colour, night vision, or actual night vision. Basically it's just got a torch on it. It supports up to 128 gig SD card, and you've got 360 all-round protection. Anything on this side? Nope. Gonna find a knife. Here's what I made earlier. Right, I actually did, and that's why it's broken. Everything I make falls apart eventually, except mistakes. They live forever. Right, let's get down here. Okay, we got warranty activation, the manual, and this seems to be pretty good English. I looked at one online. This is an RJ45 cable, and it's a network cable. This plugs into your Ethernet ports on your router. I'll show you how to do that in a bit. Let's get that up first. Power cable, I think this is 12 volts if I remember rightly, bear with me. God, it's getting smaller, I'm sure, in my eyes it's getting worse. We'll pretend I can read it. Okay, you have your bits and your bobs. You have a fairly good feel screwdriver, to be honest. Normally they're very lightweight, etc. This one feels quite heavy and it feels alright. Okay. When I say usually, you know what I mean, like tools that come free with things. Come on out, boy. Give me 20 minutes. Push. That ain't coming out, is it? Right, I'll get these all visually appealing and I'll be back. Okay, so let's have a little chat about the things in front and then we'll go on to setting it all up and giving it a test. At the end of the camera, you have a power supply, your RJ45 network cable, and then you've got a reset button, which has a little waterproof doohickey on it. And this actually has basically a end cap on it, but it's not waterproof, so I'm going to have to figure something out, because you can basically power this just by an RJ45 cable or by a power cable after you've set it all up. So yeah, I'm going to have to figure out something to do with that. This here is a backing that goes on the back of the camera. Yep, like that. And then once you screwed it into the wall, it just protects a bit of the, the innards. You obviously got your 12 volt cable, your RJ45, and then the bits that connect it to the wall or wherever you're putting it. Okay, so first things first, we need to set up the camera so that we can have it wireless and connected to our network. The way we do that is we connect it to the router through I'm going to call it an Ethernet cable from now on, rather than RJ45. You connect the Ethernet cable to your router, and then I'll show you what to do next. So first off, let's show you the back of the router. Okay, so your router will not look exactly the same as mine unless you've got the exact same one as mine, and even if you do, it probably won't be held together with zip ties. But all you need to do is locate the Ethernet port. So you should have at least one, I would say, in modern routers, and plug this beauty in. I think there are ways of doing it without the Ethernet ports, but that's not what I'm doing today, and I will not be showing it the other way because this is how I'm going to do it. Right, over to the camera. Okay, so next we're going to plug the Ethernet cable that's in the back of our router into the camera, and then we're going to plug the camera in. And this just gets plugged in like this. Now you can press the reset button and hold it down for 10 seconds to basically to wipe everything to 0. I don't think there's a need to do that at this point. It always says it in all IP camera things. Sometimes it's necessary. I don't think so with this one. Wait for the setup. Okay, and that's all done. Now, the next thing we need to do is log into our router so that we can find out all the information we need to about this. Before I do that, I'm going to show you how to do it with the way they want you to, with the app that it comes with. So bear with me. Okay, so the app it comes with is called HiCam, H-I-C-A-M. And at present, I've already got a camera connected, which is the big brother of this one. I've already set that up and I've gone through all that sort of thing. To do this, and I've got to give them their due when it comes to this, boop, is the easiest way to set up a camera I've ever seen with an app, but the app's rubbish. So, QR code. While using this, you gonna do it or not? There you go. Now all you do is you locate the QR code on the back of the camera. And that's it. You press the tick. Press the tick again, apparently. There you go. And now it's asking me about time zones. I'm not bothered by that. So now this camera is online, which is the one we've just set up. So it's asking me to change the password from what it is now to something new. Bear with me a second. So the original password on this and username is admin, and all I've changed it to is admin123 at the moment with a capital letter because I'm not bothered by this yet. So we click on it. It should be showing my ugly mug. So let's move that a second because that's terrifying. Okay, so as you'll see, we've got all sorts of different bits and bobs with this. And it does have intelligent tracking, which I did not know. because I've tried it a few times and it hasn't worked. So apparently maybe it is working with this app, but as I say, this app is awful. So I'm going to see if we can get another app working. But first, I'm going to show you how to set the camera up for another app. For that, I'm going to have to go over to my computer now. What you're going to want to do first off is log into your router, and the easiest way to do that is go online and find out what your IP address for your router is. If you are connected to a BT router, then it's 192.168.1.254, and it's really handy to know that in case there's any problems with your router. But I'm going to log into that now. Okay, so once you're in your hub manager or your whatever manager, it depends what your router is called, you need to find My Devices, and this will have all of the devices connected to your router at the moment. You click on this, obviously I'm going to have to blur out a lot of this, and you come down to your Ethernet connections, and you'll see that one of them has got a device connected to it. You might have lots of things connected, but find the one that's got the actual IP camera connected to it, and that's here. So we know that that's the IP camera, so we click on it. We can tell that because it says IP cam. If you're not sure, just unplug everything else that's plugged in and just leave the IP camera, and then you'll be able to find it. Now, a few things here. Don't be scared of this if you've never done this before, but you've got things like your IP address for your camera. You've got MAC address, which is like it's the address of the item that can't be changed. It sort of can, but we won't confuse the situation. But this is it. And on any network, it will always have that address, whereas this potentially can change. We're not going to change it. What I'm going to do is click Change Settings, and then I'm going to actually say always use this IP address. This means that that will always be its address when it's connected to my network, and I will always be able to find it by typing in those numbers. And I want to also change the name. So we're going to put this as, let's say, backdoor, back. And that way, I've got one for the front, one for the back. Now, please bear in mind, I will be changing all these settings. Don't worry, I haven't given away my entire, security system to anyone. But, okay, so click Save. Once it's done saving, we now need to type in this into our bar. So we're going to go, what is it? 228, okay. 192.168.1.228, was it? Okay, now the username is going to be the username that it either came with if you didn't go the way I did, which is admin, but I had to change it in their thing. For me, it's admin123, just because I changed it. I'm going to save that for a minute. Now you've got PC View and Setup Software. You can install this software and then it's on your PC and you can use it as is. I'm not going to show you how to do any of that side of things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on PC View, and now you should be able to hear an echo. And that's because obviously it's connected and hearing my voice. We now have the camera set up. Right, it's going to reboot the system very quickly. So while that's happening, I will just say, now we've got this set up so we can view it through a browser on the network. And we can also connect to it remotely via different software. So I'm going to show you how to do that next. Okay, at this point I was going to start showing you how to port forward your cameras, and it's so different for every single router that I thought I'm not going to bother. It is very, very simple. It can be daunting at first. I remember when I first did it back when I was younger, and I used to play with a friend of mine on Minecraft, and we port forwarded my my server to him, so he was able to play as well. And that was quite hard to do originally, but now it's so much more simple. So I will say that I'll leave that in your capable hands, because port forwarding is, as I say, it's independent with different routers and so on, and then different parts of the world have different rules as well. Basically, I looked at port forwarding on IP camera, and there's loads of resources out there, and if you type in your specific router, it should give you an exact step-by-step guide.
Right, I've recorded this to show you the quality of the camera as it's moving. So I've programmed a little arc for it to go in. I've kept it very shallow. There's a lot more movement it can do, and it's got a lot more range. But there was some neighbours out talking, so I've muted the audio and I've made sure that it hasn't captured them for the same reason. This is only on 20 frames a second. It can go up to 30 frames. I haven't tried that because this is sufficient, and I just think the quality is absolutely incredible. The fact that it keeps the continuity as it's moving. Often I see ones where it gets all, stiff and blocky and so on. But yeah, really impressed with this, to be honest. Okay, so this is nighttime, and this is the infrared mode. And I'll show you when it picks up a humanoid movement, it will turn on the actual lights. So, yay, it's me. It's blinding. And then this is the audio that it picks up.
Hello.
Which ain't bad either.
Okay, so pros and cons, let's go for that. The app that they want you to download, super easy to add your camera to it. Just scan a QR code, job done. It then gives you the added security of please change the username and password now so that it's safe. Brilliant. That's about the only good thing with that app. The app is awful. I think it's 2.6 on the App Store. I've downloaded a different one, which I personally love, but there are lots out there, and this is the good thing about this type of IP camera is you can add it to any of them. As I said in the video, the one I've had it for years. I mean, literally, I used to have I used to have an IP camera in my son's room when he was a baby, still in the cot, and I used the IP Cam Viewer Lite back then. Then I signed up to Basic, and then I signed up to Premium because it just works. So I think it's by Robert Chow, if I remember rightly. But it just works. It's not visually the best sort of UI and so on, but it just works. So choose whichever one you want. But as I say in the video, I'll go through all the ones that allows that camera or those cameras to work through it. But yeah, so like the camera in general, I really like. It's big, it's bulky, it's there, so it's a deterrent to people as well, which is awesome. And it's fast. It's the refresh rate's fine, for a security camera. Yeah, I really like them, and I would advise you guys to go out and buy it if that's what you're after. It works as an IP camera, whereas I had to search for days to find one that is an actual proper IP camera that was app independent, because all of them say yeah IP camera, yeah, you can buy it for this amount, and then in the small print it's like, yeah, but you have to sign up through our app. And they literally will not work without that app, So these are, so far, the best ones I've been able to find. If you've found any that are just as good, etc., then leave a comment, etc. But anyway, thanks again, Joseph and David, and thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.